What if he does? So that is the issue.
Because his people believe that they have invested
So his people,
heavily.
is he the only one with people and others don't have people? Kennedy. You say his people believe. I tell you, my supporters are up in arms saying you should not go back.
How many supporters does Kalonzo have? There are people who have put a number, 1 million, 2 million.
No. Please, I think my support base is nationwide. I'm a national leader. And by the way, because of this honest conversation, the youth across this country are beginning to see, yeah, that's a different Kalonzo. So don't always look at people and say 2.1 million or 2 point something. I don't know, because that is now making it look trivial. You are tribalizing this country even more.
But you said that it is indeed true, where you've also agreed to the fact that you're one of the most sought-after politicians right now.
I think I'm also one of the most, how do I put it, Kennedy? I'm also one who is seriously looking for support from Raila Odinga, from Uhuru Kenyatta, from everybody. But you know, when they say you are sought after, they kind of relegate you. By that statement alone, they are saying you should add to their numbers. Now that is primitive thinking. All right? And I call it that without any hesitation. Those are minds that are primitive. They assume that Kalonzo Musyoka is always there to add to numbers. Why don't those others add to him? Okay? This is where we are. And that is the art of negotiation. If we love this country, then we should not relegate others.
Kalonzo Musyoka told me in an interview in December that he would be the most stupid person in this world to support Raila Odinga for a third time.
Without
a measure of reciprocity.
Thank you.
Now that measure of reciprocity is also what you're still not very keen on, because you're saying even if he does not reciprocate, you're willing to work with him.
Now, the reason I called this press conference today, Ken, was basically to disabuse Kenyans of that notion, because I think our opponents, and I'm told in UDA, have been circulating through social media, was to the effect this is the world's biggest foo, okay? Come and celebrate. Tunazindua leo, the world's biggest foo, okay? Now, I think after what I've told them, would they still think I'm the world's biggest foo? The reasons why I say that was because of this agreement. But if we now sit, renegotiate, all right, look at each other straight in the eye, consider that this country is bigger than Raila Odinga and bigger than Kalonzo Musyoka, okay, then surely we'll all emerge not as fools, world's biggest fools, but true nationalists.
If Kalonzo Musyoka does not get what he wants,
it's not me, my friend. You know, Kalonzo Musyoka is a system, by the way. Don't look at me as an individual looking for... At my level, I would be very comfortable to go to Sekuru. I've said this before.
And I actually wanted to ask you.
But because of the kind of expectation placed on the name Kalonzo Musyoka by so many Kenyans, I have to think in terms of what is in the best interest of those Kenyans. But if it was left to me alone, I would happily go and pick up bows and arrows and go herding goats and things, because that's an easier way, all right? But I prefer not to take the easier way now, particularly at this time, and pitch tent for good governance, pitch tent for the fight against thieves, all right? And pitch tent for holding leaders to account on what particularly they affix their signatures to.
If Kalonzo Musyoka was, now that you've put out the document, and I want to be very clear, and it is upon you that you would really want Raila Odinga to deputize you,
it's
or
one
take
option.
another position where he is going to endorse your candidacy.
Yeah.
If
that's the most decent thing to do.
According to the
most
document.
Legitimate thing to do. And after you have a brother who has invested 10 political years in your leadership, you cannot then turn around and say, nilimpigia simu alikuwa mteja.
Was it true?
No, of course not. That is why
Raila did not call you?
I don't know. He said alikuwa mteja. Eventually we spoke, all right? But he says on that particular time he tried to call me and I was mteja. Okay, I found that very entertaining. That is typical of our brother.
Now,
alikuwa mteja.
So he was just alikuwa na hepa?
I don't know. Because in the first place, do you think if you have a deputy who has run a very tough fight with you twice, and according to both of you, even one, do you think that the guy to wait until you have concluded handshake negotiations, then you call him to tell him, I've signed? Oh, please. These are the things we must deal with now. And this is what causes trust deficit, Ken. Yeah, it would even be, I think, a mockery of justice for Raila to say, after he had done all this, he's taking out a statement to read, then he's calling me at that particular time, after 3-4 months of serious discussions with brother Uhuru Kenyatta, only for him just to now say, oh, Brother Steve, I have signed. Oh, no.
But you're calling this deceit, but you're still ready to work with him.
No, what do you have to do? You have a country to look after. Yeah. But once you have called out these things and you discuss, by the way, owning up is part of negotiations. If I am wrong and I say I've wronged you and I'm sorry, then we must at that time now handshake and move together.